Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome back. I'm Sam, and today we are talking about survival. We are exploring Behaviour 4, B4, Commits to Continuous Professional Development, or CPD. Here is the brutal truth about our industry. In tech, if you stand still, you are actually moving backwards. The tools you learned 2 years ago might already be out of date. I want you to adopt the shark mindset. Sharks have to keep swimming forward to get oxygen. If they stop, they die. As IT professionals, we must keep learning to survive. Our objective today is to move beyond the idea that learning only happens in a classroom. We will explore the 70-20-10 model and build a habit of lifelong learning. This behavior is your insurance policy against becoming obsolete. Let's decode B4. The standard asks you to maintain your skills in relation to developments in the industry. There is a huge myth here. Many apprentices think, I haven't done any CPD because my boss hasn't sent me on a training course. That is wrong. The reality is that CPD is anything that improves your value to the business. Did you listen to a tech podcast on the train? That's CPD. Did you watch a YouTube tutorial to fix a bug? That's CPD. Did you read a blog about the new features in Java? That is CPD. The key isn't just consuming the content, it is proving how that learning influenced your work. Learning without application is just entertainment. To structure your learning, use the 70-20-10 model. This is organizational theory gold. 70% of your learning comes from experience, doing the job, breaking things, and fixing them. This is on-the-job learning. 20% comes from exposure, learning from others. This includes mentoring, code reviews, and asking senior colleagues how they solved a problem. Only 10% comes from education, formal courses and certifications. To demonstrate B4 effectively, your CPD log should reflect this balance. Don't just list courses. List the difficult bug you fixed, 70%, and the conversation you had with the architect, 20%. B4 is closely linked to B7, awareness of trends. You cannot just learn what is needed for today's ticket. You must look at tomorrow. This is called horizon scanning. Where do you look? Check the Gartner hype cycle to see what technologies are emerging. Look at tech radars to see which tools are moving from assess to adopt. Check GitHub trends. Your goal is to bring a new idea into the business. Even if you don't implement it, the fact that you investigated it proves B4. How does this look for your roles? For Chloe, our software engineer, B4 might be learning a new framework. Maybe you read about React, but you don't stop there. You apply it by building a small, hello world, prototype to see if it suits the team's next project. That is valuable research. For Ben, our data analyst, you might take a short course on advanced DAX formulas in Power BI. You apply this by going back to an old, slow report and refactoring it to run 50% faster. You used your CPD to create business value. That is the gold standard. For our infrastructure and business colleagues, B4 is constant. Liam, as a network engineer, you are likely studying for certs like CCNA. The evidence for B4 isn't the exam pass, it's the moment you troubleshoot a live subnet issue using a command you learned in the book. Maya, in cybersecurity, your CPD is reading threat intelligence reports every morning. You apply this by checking the company firewall for a newly discovered malicious IP address. For Tom and Aisha, you might attend a webinar on Agile at Scale. You apply this by suggesting a tweak to the daily stand-up format to make it more efficient. Small learning, big impact. How do you prove B4 this week? Here are 3 actions. Action 1, the CPD log hack. Create a simple spreadsheet. Date, activity, time spent. But add a 4th column, impact. Fill this in immediately. Did it save time? Did it fix a bug? If you can't fill in the impact, it wasn't effective CPD. Action 2. Subscribe and filter. Subscribe to 3 high-quality tech newsletters. When you see a relevant article, share it in your team's chat channel. That screenshot is evidence of B4 and B6, sharing best practice. Action 3. The lunch and learn. You don't need a day off. Watch a 15-minute tech talk during lunch. Write down 3 bullet points. Those notes are your evidence. To evidence this in your portfolio, use the STARR method. Focus on the application. Situation: I realized my knowledge of asynchronous programming was outdated, causing bottlenecks in the app. Task: to upskill myself to improve the project performance. Action: this is the B4 focus. I identified a relevant advanced tutorial series. I dedicated 2 hours a week to study this outside of core sprint tasks. I then applied the new async await pattern to the current feature. Result: the page load time reduced by 20%. Reflection: I learned that dedicating time to study pays back double in efficiency. For your major project, B4 is often hidden in plain sight. You usually have to use a tool or language you haven't mastered yet. Don't hide that learning process. Include a section in your report called Skills Development. Write explicitly, I had to learn the Python Flask library to deliver this module. Describe how you learned it. Did you read the docs? Did you watch a course? This proves you are capable of independent upskilling, which hits both B2 and B4 perfectly. Let's recap. B4 is the shark mindset. You must keep moving to survive in tech. We learned the 70-20-10 model. Learning is doing, sharing, and studying. And most importantly, learning must have impact. If you can't show how it helped the business, it doesn't count. And most importantly, learning must have impact. If you can't show how it helped the business, it doesn't count. In our next session, we will look at B5, Interacts Professionally, where we learn the vital skill of translating tech speak into business language. Remember, your skills are your biggest asset. Invest in them. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you now feel more confident in mastering this topic. If you found value in this session, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and follow our channel. It really means a lot to me and helps the algorithm show these lessons to other apprentices just like you who need support. Don't forget, you can download today's slides and the full transcript at www.mentorinai.com EPA Hub. While you are there, check out our mock interview and portfolio review services to make sure you are fully ready for your EPA. See you in the next video. Keep learning.